recording this today because it's my birthday. Woo! Calm down. So I'm 46, and as you can see at this particular point, I'm wearing a sling. So there you go. What's happened is broke my shoulder. Had a cycling accident. I went over the handlebars while I was going downhill, and dislocated and broke my shoulder a couple of weeks ago. So I'm currently off work. I'm recovering. So it's not too bad, you know. I guess I'll be back in action in about a month or so. There are screws holding my shoulder together apparently up here, which is quite interesting. I feel like Steve Austin. And so anyway, yeah, my woes aside, being as it is my birthday, I went out and I spunked some money on my favourite things, which are probably films and music. Not necessarily in that order. So I know you're dying to know what my purchases were. So the first one that I got was, it was yesterday actually, but anyway, Rough Trade in Nottingham were having a sale, and so I bought this, which is by the Italian doom psychedelic outfit UFO Mammoth. UFO Mammoth are a three-piece, and they're on Neurot Recordings, which is Neurosis's label. And if you know anything about Neurosis and the sort of music that they do, you will know that it is crushingly heavy. I mean, it's just monstrous. Having seen them live, it just blew me away. UFO Mammoth are a... the thing is with doom, it can be very generic as a style. This album is just, it's great. They're very good at building tension up and then just letting all the distortion out, and it's a very visual sort of project as well. They do some really great videos that are on YouTube. So if you're into all things like just big sounding and, you know, psychedelic as well, then yeah, definitely this album is Ecarte, and yeah, it's by UFO Mammoth. So that was the first one. Then I indulged in this as well, which is a group called the Heliocentrics. I heard this one day while I was in Rough Trade, wandering around, and it caught my ear because I'm a big fan of the album Bitches Brew by Miles Davis, which is a classic of jazz from the 70s. And yeah, I really liked it, but I didn't buy it at the time, and then regretted it, and sort of went in the other day and asked for it. And when I got it home, yeah, it's very much in the kind of 70s sort of space jazz, you know, like Sun Ra and Miles Davis, and there's influences from Neu and other German sort of cosmic music from the 70s as well. So if you're into that kind of thing, which is very popular at the moment, the vocals are really good on it. It's kind of difficult to categorize it, but it does have that sort of aesthetic. So yeah, you get the idea from maybe this. I think this is the band over here. And you get this amazing sort of collage psychedelia. There's lots of planets and all that kind of business. So yeah, that's very much a definite plus for my record collection. So today I've been down in Derby, and I know, but yeah, there is a record shop there that I'd like to go to sometimes, and I picked up some vinyl. Right, next one is I got this, which is Tomita, the Bermuda Triangle. And if you don't know who Tomita was, he's a Japanese electronic composer. Now the great thing about this record, as you can see, is the cover. The cover is this fantastic painting by a guy called Don Ivan Punchatz, or Punkatz. And he used to be I don't know if he's still around, but he's a science fiction illustrator. He used to do a lot of book covers back in the 70s. And you've got this wonderful illustration of a pilot embracing a mermaid with all these little goblins around him, and some planes above it. Now, the planes and the pilot refer to one of the great Fortean mysteries from the 20th century, which is the disappearance of Flight 19. I was listening to a podcast called Astonishing Legends, and they do a very, very exhaustive investigation into the events surrounding that. But basically what happened was a squadron of training planes disappeared and were never found again, and also a rescue plane that went out to get them, that disappeared too, and nobody knows what happened to them, and there's never ever been any evidence found. There could be a rational explanation, but it's a really cool subject if you're interested in UFOs and all that kind of business. But anyway, so yeah, go on to astonishinglegends.com and have a go at their podcast, because they're really good guys and they do a lot of research. It's really interesting. But I'm talking about this. So Tomita, I think he died recently, unfortunately. He plays a huge amount of synthesizers. I mean, modular synthesizers. The ones, if you don't know, they're the ones with all the telephone leads in them. And he did a series of records which were basically translations of famous classical music on modular synths. So he was a very, very clever and creative guy, and the amount of work it must have taken to put these records together, it blows my mind. So if you don't know Tomita, you could probably find some of his records in your local charity shop. There's usually a copy of Snowflakes Are Dancing and Pictures at an Exhibition. If you're at all into old synthesizer music, like I am, because I kind of grew up with that stuff in the 70s, yeah, they're well worth the few quid it's going to cost you to get them. The weird thing is, I forgot how many Tomita albums I do actually own, and I've already got this one. So, oh well. So there's a free Tomita album going if anybody wants it. Get in touch with me. So yeah, there was that. Yeah, there you go. Proto hipster with my broken shoulder. I hope you enjoy. Hope you check out some of that stuff. It's up to you, even if you're even watching this. So anyway, thank you, viewer, and yeah, see you soon. Bye.